How would you assess how things have gone so far?
We're getting good work in. I think the defense definitely ahead of the offense right now, which is very typical of what you'd want in fall camp. I think they're flying around, they're confident. I think they've really taken good strides since the spring. We've still got new guys we're sprinkling in on that side. You know, when you bring in 26 new faces June 1, we knew that was going to be what fall camp's all about. But I'm really excited how they're playing. Offensively, today specifically wasn't very good. A lot of drops, a lot of misfires. But I think over the course of the 4 days, it's been good. We're kind of pumping a lot of install on both sides of the ball, not a lot of scheming going on, so just kind of getting plays down. We've got a lot of new faces at wideout, a couple new guys on the O-line, and so, you know, that's what the next 2 weeks is about. It's got to get some cohesiveness, get on the same page, and click a little bit higher execution level.
One of your new guys, Blake Corrales, what have you seen from him, speaking of wideouts and receivers?
You know, he had a really good spring, a really good summer. Probably would be the first to tell you these first 4 days, in terms of catching the football, he can do better. But still, you know, he knows what to do. He's a veteran guy, and I have a feeling that he'll turn it on and be a big part of what we're going to do this year.
Quarterbacks, what have you been your initial takeaways been on them between Tanner and Preston so far?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you have competitions there and everywhere, you take the spring, you take the summer, and now we're into fall camp 4 days in. We get a non-practice day tomorrow to kind of let their arms rest. It's a lot of throwing. It's been a lot of up and down by both. I think they both have a good understanding of what we're doing. It's a matter of now, again, refining your execution, getting more consistent, getting more comfortable with not only the reps of the plays, but again, when you got a lot of new faces, it takes a lot of reps throwing and catching. And we're nowhere near where we need to be right now, but fortunately we don't play for about 4 more weeks. And so, but I think they've both done good. Look, Tanner's got tons of experience. We all know what he brings to the table, and I think Preston just continues to get better. So I've said it many a time, we're really excited to have both those guys.
We were out here at the Break the Rock thing, and championship got brought up a lot by the players. Doesn't seem they're afraid to talk about it, talk about the goal. What do you think of that? How do you guys approach keeping it 1 week at a time and all that stuff versus just the overall arching theme?
Look, I mean, you got to aim small to miss small. We got to have our goal in sight. I think every team in our league is starting wanting to win a championship, so we're no different, and internally we got to talk about that. We understand that all that really matters right now is getting ready to play North Texas, and we got a heck of a league. And Cincinnati's kind of set the bar in our league. We know there's a lot of other good teams. We do have to take it 1 week at a time, but we know we're not the favorite, but we also have that as our goal, and you know, I wouldn't want it any other way.
Whether it's the quarterback or any other position, at what point do you kind of say we've got to figure this out so that we can work with what we see as the number ones getting ready for that UNC game?
Soon. I think every year's different. I think currently where we are with, like I said, so many new guys, especially at skill positions, just the amount of time you got to get on the same page for all the different things you can see. As soon as we can at all those positions, we have to either make decisions or start trending that way, to your point, so we can be good enough on September 3rd to win a game. So it needs to happen pretty soon.
And I know with a lot of players coming in, this might be hard, but is there a player or position group that's really impressed you, the development they've taken from spring now into fall camp?
Yeah, I think our secondary. I think it's a mixture of the scheme that Coach Simons and Coach Huntley implement. I think it's a mixture of just confidence, some veteran guys, some transfer pieces. But I think, you know, what I've seen in 4 days, we're playing the pass a lot better than we did in the spring. And I know Coach Simons probably isn't very satisfied, but we're a lot better there. So I'd say they've stood out.
And then just offensive line, it looks like you got, you know, your 2 new guys kind of on the same side together. Was that maybe a thought coming into it with then Jalen and Marcus on the other side? Or?
I think a little bit. I think, you know, Jalen played a lot of right guard in the spring, and we felt like Marcus played predominantly right tackle. So we didn't feel like moving him. Marcus is probably the youngest guy in there competing. A guy like Owen Condon had played right at Georgia more, but he's a veteran guy, and it's taken him some time on the left side to get comfortable. He's not there yet, but we felt like that would be the easier transition on him. And then Joe just fit in at a really comfortable spot for him at left guard. And so that's kind of the why. It wasn't necessarily because they're the 2 new guys. It just worked out that way. And then we got guys like, you know, J.O.'s getting healthy again, Justin Osborne, so he's going to compete to get in there. And then we got a good battle at center.
Kind of a big picture question. There were, I think, 3,085 transfers in the latest cycle that ended earlier in the month. I mean, do you think that number is going to kind of reset at some point, or do you still see it going up and up for the meantime?
You know, I think it's got to, at some point, you'd think course correct itself, but we said that 3 years ago or whenever it was that it really started. I mean, the sad thing is a lot more kids go into the portal than get picked up because we only have so many scholarships. I think the data tells you that every every group of 5 kid that transferred, only 14% went to the Power 5 level. So a lot of kids think they're going to transfer and get out there and it's going to be one thing, and for a select few it is, and for many it's not. And so, and I think from the Power 5 level that transferred, only like 32% still went Power 5. So I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, I'm not the kids making those decisions. I'm good with the fact that they have the freedom to go where they want to go. Look, we want the guys here that want to be here. At the same time, you know, kids didn't used to have that option, and I think, you know, maybe it kept them from making some mistakes too. So, look, we brought in a lot of transfers. We've had some guys leave. We're going to do it like everybody else, so I'm not trying to sound hypocritical. It's the rules of the game, and we're going to play it and try to help the guys that are here the best we can.
A freshman that flashed, at least for us today, was Isaiah Smith. What have you thought about him, and then any other true freshmen that are really kind of taking, you know, those big leaps that you want to see right away?
Isaiah Smith is fast and quick off the edge. I mean, we knew that. And we've had some guys get nicked up here or there. I mean, we think probably at some point this year we're going to have to count on him. He probably needs a year in the weight room to get as big as he needs to be, but he's quick, he's fast, and that can make up for a little bit of being underweight at this point. So he's explosive, could be a good player in the future, but maybe this year make some impacts. I think, you know, the guy that flashed today, R.J. Maryland, you know, he's only 4 days in, so his head's still spinning, but we know the talent he has. He put on probably a good 15, 20 pounds already over the summer. So all the freshmen have done a good job, and then you look at our kicker there, Colin, knocked down 4 in a row there to end practice. That's another guy that's standing out.
Receiver depth, they've got some different things, obviously brought in a lot of athleticism and speed on June 1. Just how fun is it to see that group and maybe kind of start to work on where they can fit in and how you might use some of those guys? I
think it's fun. I mean, we all know that, you know, we lost, you know, Reggie, and we lost Danny, and we lost Grant, so we lost a lot of firepower and production at wideout. I think Rasheed's had a great offseason physically. He looks great, and he's really our main guy with experience. We have a couple guys like the Austin Upshaws and Dylan Goffney's returning, but we had to bring those new guys in. I think with those new guys' signals, we have a lot of potential. We do have speed and explosion now, but all potential means is we haven't done it yet. And so the biggest thing is we're going to play the guys who catch the football. So you can run really fast. If you can't catch the ball and make plays, you're not going to get on the field. And so, like I said, we got 2 weeks till school starts to get guys knowing what to do and executing at a higher level, and I'm fully confident we'll get that done.
Now the fall camp has started. Does it feel full circle for you? You know, coming in here in the past now, coming back and seeing guys actually put on the pads and get going?
Yeah, I think, you know, coaching's like riding a bike. I think this is going to be my 15th year. And probably the first 8 months I was here, maybe 5% of my time got spent coaching football, and that's probably being generous. And so it's fun to get out here and be coaching a little bit more at times and calling plays and doing things that I haven't really done since last November, and just getting around the guys more in that setting. So I think our staff's doing a good job, kids are, and yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of, it's just normal for me to be out here in fall camp coaching ball, just in a little different position.